Hello everyone. Today we are discussing a new concept NAV. In the previous video, when we were discussing about mutual funds or hedge funds, we have heard about NAV. And many a times I've told you that we are going to take NAV value for the uh, to find out the value of the shares and also to make the transactions of the units we use NAV value. So what is the meaning of NAV value? This we are going to discuss in this video. At the same time, we'll be also trying to understand how NAV is calculated for the better understanding of NAV. NAV stands for net asset value. Here, whenever we do any of the transaction, most of the time, all the transactions are done on the basis of net asset value of particular unit. If we are taking in terms of mutual funds, the net asset value is the value or it is a market value of the securities, the funds which we are going to invest after deducting certain kind of expenses. So what is net asset value? It is the market value of securities the funds has invested in after deducting their liabilities, fees, or any kind of expenses. What is going to happen when the fund manager collects the money and when the transaction is done? He may have certain kind of expenses, and those expenses will be deducted to reach to the net asset value of the particular share. And this calculation basically will be done by the accountants. Usually, the accountants will do the calculation of net asset value, and on that basis, the further uh, transaction value and what is the amount the participants are going to receive, that will be calculated later. So the performance of mutual fund scheme, that is also denoted in its net asset value per unit. I told most of the transaction after the initial period, all the transaction will be done on the basis of net asset value, and how your mutual funds or any kind of hedge funds or any funds, how it is performing, that performance can be denoted with the help of net asset value per unit. Okay, so when we are uh, dealing with the calculation part of net asset value, you will be more clear with these information. Okay, here net asset value is also the market value of securities, and when we are considering the market value of securities, that means it is not fixed, it will keep on changing. So the market value of the securities changes every day, and which impacts net asset value, that also varies on day-to-day basis. Okay, and this calculation, everything will be done by the accountants. I've already told about it. So further, we'll be discussing about the calculation part. So when we are trying to calculate what is the value of net asset value, here net asset value will be calculated by dividing the net asset value with number of units of the scheme outstanding on the valuation date. For example, think that the net asset value is uh, 20,000 and the number of units what you're having is 100. So 20,000 divided by 100, in the sense you will be having 200, and that will be the net asset value per unit. But further, when we are considering the mutual funds, they will have cut-off time within which all the applications for investment or repurchase have to be accepted, so that it includes all net asset valuation, net asset value calculations. So when we calculate, it will be calculated on daily basis. Okay, so mutual funds, whatever value, that is the net asset value, when we are calculating on daily basis, what are the fluctuations happening in the market price, that will be considered here. So as I told here, even the net asset value is not fixed, it keeps on changing. And this changes will happen, the changes in net asset value, which need to be calculated on daily basis, which keeps on changing. It will happen because the value of securities or the cash or any other assets held by them, that also will change on daily basis, and that is going to impact the net asset value, and there will be fluctuations. So as I told, it shows the stock price. It is like a stock price which keeps on changing and which says about the performance of mutual fund scheme, that will also give certain benefits to the investors, because on the basis of net asset value only, we can try to find out what is the amount they get and what will be the charges which will be taken by even the fund manager. Let us try to understand the net asset value concept in a deeper sense with the help of an example on the basis of calculation. Okay. Imagine that there is a fund manager who is going to collect the money from different parties. And as per our example, we have A, B, C, D, totally four parties, and the fund manager is going to collect rupees 10,000 from party A, rupees 20,000 from party B, rupees 15,000 from party C, and rupees 10,000 from party D. So at the end, 55,000 is the total amount of money which is held by the fund manager. Now, what the fund manager will do? The fund manager is going to invest that 55,000 rupees in different investment avenues. We have already discussed what are the options, different options they will have when they are taking the mutual funds, and either they can think about risk averse or risk seeking. At the same time, they think about what is the time, what is the returns they are going to get, and what is the risk associated depending upon the parties. Okay, so as per this example, 55,000 the fund manager will be having, and he is going to invest that money. Okay, now after the initial period, whatever transaction happens, we are going to consider the net asset value. For example, think that Mr. C would like to take back his money. Okay, so he has contributed 15,000 rupees, and that 15,000 along with others' money, the fund manager has invested somewhere. Okay, still we'll make an assumption that he has taken the shares of different companies, and the face he has taken the shares of rupees 10 face value. That means think that 55,000 rupees are invested in different shares of rupee 10 per share. So he will have totally 5,500 shares which is invested in number of companies. Okay, now as per our example, Mr. C would like to take his money back. Now when he is taking his money back, he will inform it to the fund manager, and fund manager on that basis, what is the price of what is the market price of the share that he is going to check. Now, the face value is 10, and on that particular date, think that the value of stock is 10.3 per share. Okay, there is a fluctuation, and on that basis, that day's that day's value of the share is 10.3. Now, on 10.3, think that the transaction is done. So 10.3 is the market value, and from that, the fund manager will take away certain kind of expenses, and at the end, money will be given to Mr. C, and this will be the net asset value. So after deducting the expenses, what money remains, that will be the net asset value. In a simple manner, it is the market value of the security, and from this market value, they are going to deduct if there is any liabilities, if there is any fees or any expenses, then that will be deducted. So this is the calculation of net asset value. For the better understanding, we have done this calculation. So if you are able to understand what is the meaning of net asset value, that will be more than enough. Thank you.